Alright everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I have this massive bin full of tools. So I got this stuff from my boss. This was tools that he didn't want, and it's a lot of stuff, and it's really just cool just because most of the stuff in here is like made in USA or made in Japan, which is super cool. So let's go ahead and get into it. We have this, I think it's a 2.25 foot maybe flat blade screwdriver. I don't know why the camera doesn't focus automatically. That's weird. Maybe I gotta turn that setting on or something. Right here, Craftsman drill bit set. Pretty cool. And these two, the 5/32 and 3/16, are Hanson bits and not Craftsman bits. Not a US General glove holder. This is full of punches and chisels. So let's see, we got this one's Craftsman, and there's mainly Craftsman, Dasco, and Proto. There's a Dasco one, and then there's lots of Craftsman ones in here, but there's lots of Proto stuff in here too. More Craftsman. Here's a Proto one right here. That's a USAG, so I think that's made in Italy. This is Proto too. These are just some lineman pliers. And then these ones, I believe, these are Craftsman, but I believe that these are also the new Proto ones, because the new Proto ones have the same recessed, I don't know what you would call it, rivet. I'm not sure if that's technically a rivet or not, but it's got the same recessed design, and it has the same, this little opening right here, and it just looks exactly the same as the new Protos. I'm not 100% sure, but Proto is owned by Stanley Black & Decker now. J.P. Danielson Co. Pretty neat. Okay, this is actually, these are my first crescent wrenches. I actually didn't own a crescent wrench until now. These, I'm pretty sure, are Craftsman, because if you look at the grips look exactly the same, but these are just another pair of lineman pliers. The grips look the same. There's a pair of Craftsman channel locks in there too that have the same grip, but not 100% sure. Some, like these C-clamp vice grips, I didn't have any of these either until now. These are really cool. These are old Jet branded vice grips, and it's got the release lever. You do that instead of pushing down. Some of these tools definitely need some work done to them, but you know, it's not too bad. Just knock some rust off of it, and that's about it. Little USA made file card. Pair of Klein side cutters. These are just a small pair. I think probably 5 or 6 inch pair. This is really neat. So this is made by the Samson Tape Company. No, I'm not even going to try to say that. But it's in like a leather casing. Pretty neat. And a big assortment of, this is pretty much all Craftsman, USA Craftsman. 3/8 and 1/4 inch sockets mainly, but there are a couple 1/2 inch sockets in there. Just a little inspection mirror. I put tape over it so it wouldn't crack or anything when I was bringing it home. Here's most of the 1/2 inch stuff. Impact sockets too. Again, mostly Craftsman stuff. A rigid pipe wrench. And then we got this. I think this is a Smith's. This is a diamond sharpener, so it's got 4 different sides on it. Not a cheese grater. This is a Smith's, as far as I know. Yeah, so it's got a fine, medium, and a coarse stone on here, and you can just flip them to sharpen stuff. That's really neat. I'm big into sharpening by hand, not those pull-through sharpeners or anything. And then this is just a little oiler. We got a little S-wing. I'm not actually 100% sure what this is called. I'd have to look that up to figure it out, because I'm actually curious to know what that is. A couple Oregon, just some little felling wedges. A little Japanese handsaw. These things are pretty dang neat. They're super, super sharp. A little pair of Klein wire cutters. These actually match, or wire strippers, my bad. These match my little flush cutters. Big miscellaneous assortment of wrenches. There's one complete standard set and one almost complete metric set. I think it's missing an 18 millimeter. And then there's just a couple of these dual open-end wrenches in there. So I'll go and get all these wrenches out. But most of those wrenches, pretty much all of them, like 98% of them, probably 99% actually, are Craftsman ones. There are a couple different brands. This one is a Matco, and it's a 10 millimeter, so like a high-use wrench, and it's cool to have a Matco one. Like the Craftsman ones are cool, but that Matco one's probably a little bit tougher than the Craftsman ones. So here's just a regular 3/8 Craftsman ratchet. I think it's a V series. I think if there's a standalone V, it's a V series. Not 100% sure though. Some extensions. This is a 3/8, probably 11 or 12 inch extension. I'm not sure which one. Sorry if I'm showing these things out of camera. The camera's angled pretty low here. And probably a 6-inch Craftsman. This is all the made in the USA Craftsman too, so the good stuff. And a 1/4 inch, 6-inch. Whoa. And then a 1/4 inch, 6-inch extension. Big ol' drill bit right here. DeWalt Sawzall blade. Oh, battery terminal cleaner. And there's another one. Yeah, this. The one with all the fancy stuff on it. And there's 2 1/2-inch Craftsman ratchets. One of these, I think this one is a V series, I think. 3/8 locking breaker bar. It's got fixed positions. Let's see, Craftsman 1/4 inch flat blade. Number 3, Craftsman Phillips. And then there's a bunch of, I think it's a complete set, these Craftsman Torx drivers. Old Lufkin tape measure, steel tape. 3/16 flat blade Craftsman. And then a number 2 Phillips, I think. Number 2 Phillips. More Torx. There's a good size set. I'm not sure if it's complete, but it's a Sears. It says actually Sears on it, but it's a Craftsman chisel set with a strike cap on the end, which is nice. More chisels, and there's a Torx, but there's just a 1/4 inch. That's a V series 1/4 inch socket driver. I'm not sure if Craftsman ever made one with a socket. You could put like a 1/4 inch driver or ratchet on the back. Snap-on's got one and Williams has one, but don't really see any other ones that have that. Little micro screwdriver set. Right angle, an impact driver. Craftsman, I guess it's just a bit driver. Another 6-inch 3/8 extension. 1/2-inch Craftsman. I think that's V. This is definitely different. This is way older than all the other stuff. V series 1/2 inch, but you can tell. You get another extension here. This feels way better though than these. Some drum brake pliers. I'm not sure what brand. It looks like it says Plum 215 Plum, made in USA. I bought this too for $15, and it's just for taking retaining clips off drum brakes. So now I actually have the specialty tools for doing drum brakes, which is nice because my truck has drum brakes. Craftsman 5/16 regular screwdriver. More Torx. Another 3/16. Looks like, yep. Another drill bit. And a big extension. This is Cobalt, I think. A little mini set. I think this is metric. Standard. A little mini standard wrench set, which is cool. I've always wanted one of these. I'm probably never going to use it, but you never know. Some more wrenches. This one is made by Heiko, Germany. Oh, it's actually a Mercedes-Benz branded wrench. That's pretty neat. I think this is for doing spark plugs. Mercedes-Benz, yeah. But it's got the rubber boot in there. So I'm guessing that might be for doing spark plugs, I'd assume. More mini wrenches. These ones, also standard. Case is in a little bit better condition than the other ones. Another Craftsman bit driver. Little 1/4 inch Craftsman ratchet. This one it either needs a rebuild kit or there's just something not pushing the pawl to engage the gear. So there might be a spring missing or maybe that little ball. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure that'll be a pretty easy fix. And this thing, I can't remember exactly what the name of this thing is. I think it's technically a chisel, and these things from what I can tell are pretty rare. It's a Baco chisel. I think it's just used for kind of like scooping wood shavings out. But there's the model number. It's a 927A. And when I was looking it up on the internet, the only result I got was from some used European website. So I'm not sure. It's pretty cool though. So there's some Stanley chisels made in England. There's one Craftsman, there's another Craftsman. These ones have strike caps on it. The Stanleys do have. I don't think those are technically strike caps on the Stanleys. Little USA made clamp made by, it doesn't have a brand on it unless Malleable Iron is the brand. I'm not sure. Just a little pry bar made in Japan. Another 1/2 inch, 6 inch extension, more Torx. Rubber mallet, not sure where it's made or the brand on it. Not sure there's the tag on it. 10 inch crescent wrench. A Proto, but the jaws on it is kind of loose, but you don't know how many times I've wanted a crescent wrench and have not had one. There's a little one in here. Little 4 inch made by Crestology. I think that's Crescent. Yeah, Crescent Tool Co. Brake tool. This is made in Japan. It just says T78 brake tool, so I'm not sure who made this one. And more Sawzall blades. Little Stihl screwdriver, the one you get with your saw. Little mini Cobalt utility blade storage there. This thing is pretty cool. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. Little bar wrench or scrench. Scrench sounds so dumb. I just call it a bar wrench. But this one's got Torx on it. Torx is lame. Just a test light. There's no brand on this one. And number 2, long Phillips, Craftsman. These, I'm not sure the brand on these, unless Robertson is actually the brand. I thought Robertson was the bit name, so I'm not sure if whoever made, Comfo Grip, designed in 1970. So I'm not sure if this is actually a Robertson branded tool or what. Little 1/4 inch wobbly Craftsman. I had tape on here when I was doing something and it was wobbling around a little too much. Lots of files in here. Little socket that escaped. This thing is really cool. This super old ratcheting screwdriver. So it ratchets, but also when you push in, let me actually focus that. When you push in, it's kind of cool. It's got a wood handle on it too. Not sure, and it does have interchangeable blades on it, but these are different than like the 1/4 inch blades that everything uses now. This is made in USA. Not 100% sure the brand. Some vice grip C-clamps. Big old metal wire brush, not sure the brand. A little stubby number 2 Phillips. Little tiny micro drive number 0 Phillips. Some file. There's a lot of files in here. Robertson bit, Stanley, or number 1 point. I'm assuming that that's a Robertson bit. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Just a little mini sledge. Handle definitely needs redone on this thing. A little 3M sanding block. Little torpedo level. This is made by Johnson Level and Tool. Ball peen hammer. This one is actually a Craftsman. I think, yep, Craftsman. Higher pressure gauge. Made by Brookstone. Another little torpedo level. This is a USA made Ace branded one. Definitely, this one is pretty heavy because it's got aluminum on it. This one's just all plastic. And a little cotter pin set. Little tiny feeler gauge set made in Japan. There's a couple other feeler gauge sets in here somewhere. Oh, this is Craftsman 1/4 inch extension. This is pretty cool. An actual US machete made by, where is it? Can't remember. Oh, yeah, there it is. The Ontario Knife Company. So like a legit one. Just pretty. That's pretty cool. A long claw hammer. I think the brand is Vaughn. I think. Yep, that's what that is. More sharpening stuff. Just some stones in here. There's a puck. And then there's a... I tried to find this brand, but I was unable to online. The Pacific grinding wheels. I wasn't able to find it. But I think when I did find it, I just found actual just grinding wheels and no whetstones at all. And 2 clamps. Little magnifier for when you're doing soldering. And I actually have the stand for doing 2 wires together when you're soldering, and then you can have this magnifier here. I don't know if I'm really going to use that just because I normally solder bigger wire. Here's the Craftsman channel locks that I was talking about right here earlier. Feeler gauge. One of these is... This one does not have a brand on it. It does say Japan though. Made in Japan. Little Craftsman spark plug gapper tool. Some bus fuses. There's a, here we go, old school right here. So this is what you're normally used to finding in the store, and this one's old. This one is pretty neat. I think this is for just an angle tool for your chisel. I'm pretty sure that's what this is for. You can clamp your chisel in here. I'm assuming this is a little trim tool. It's a Facom. Model number is G110. Pretty sure that that's a trim prying tool. Estwing pry bar. Old Estwing. A little tool for doing screens. Another brake tool. This one is actually a Craftsman one made in Japan. 2 Stanley stubbies. Another Torx. Little Craftsman wrenches. A bunch of files. The majority of these are Nicholson files. I think there's a Great Britain one in here, or New Britain. Not Great Britain, New Britain. But the majority of these are Nicholson. Just a Estwing sledge, definitely needs to be cleaned up. A little Smith & Wesson, I think this is Smith & Wesson pocket knife that is definitely needs some work on it. Some more extensions, 2 or 3 inch Craftsman extension for 1/2 inch. And then I think these are 3 inch extensions, 3/8, 3 inch extension, and then a Craftsman 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapter. Not sure. Fuller, and they are made in Japan, just some little needle nose. And then some more Torx. a little camera tripod. I'm doing YouTube videos. More extensions. Another number 0 Phillips. Another Stanley chisel. That completes the set. So I'm not sure what this tool is. I'm pretty sure that it is a glass cutting tool made by Fletcher. I have no clue how you use one of these things, but I think it's a glass cutting tool. I could be completely wrong, but I saw something else that looked similar to that said it was a glass cutting tool. Task Force bolt cutters. These are just 18-inch bolt cutters. These are made in Taiwan, but I don't have a pair of bolt cutters, and these things actually cut pretty good. And then the last little, there's this little thing, a hardware gauge. And the last thing, got some shop shears right here. These things cut pretty good. Made by H. Booker Co. And then just a couple stray caps right here. Chesco hex key set. Eklund. Old Eklund. Not even in focus, I don't even know. An old Eklund metric Allen set. Carlisle 8mm. I use that for doing coolant bleeding on a Dakota. Not 100% sure. That's China. Oh, I gotta get rid of that. Not 100% sure what this tool is. And then just some miscellaneous USA Allen keys in here. Miscellaneous of brands and metric or standard in there. So that is everything in the bin. So I'm gonna load up my toolbox. This stuff, I have some of my tools in a tool bag right now, so my toolbox is kind of empty, but I'm gonna go and load some of this stuff up and I'll be back once I got that done. I spent some time putting those tools into the toolbox, so a lot has definitely changed since that toolbox tour video that I did. So right here we just got this, I forget what brand level that is, but we got that level. It's nice and it's actually aluminum. The other one was just plastic. The Craftsman wrench set right here. And then these are the shallow Craftsman, and unfortunately a lot of them are 12 point, so I'm gonna have to try to find a 6-point set, because 6-point is, I don't really like the 12-point stuff. These two spark plug sockets, this one does not have the rubber boot in it for putting spark plugs back in, because sometimes, you know, the plug, they can get stuck. You know, you can spray, if you spray the rubber boots with silicone, everything works, but you kind of have to do that like every single time, which is, you know, it gets annoying. So just two different sockets. Hopefully I'm gonna get like maybe a magnetic one or something. I threw in a couple of the Craftsman extensions as 1/2 inch, and then this Craftsman, and then there's another here. This one's a snap-on, and there's another 1/4 inch long one down there, because the Husky ones are wobblies, and you know, wobblies on power tools, not really a fan of that. Craftsman, this is actually a little pocket screwdriver that I didn't realize, and I thought it was a spark plug gapper because I just went over it real quick, but then I looked at it and it was a little mini multi-use screwdriver. So first drawer, the Carlisle 8mm hex, this Craftsman socket driver, a lot of stuff tipping over here, the Craftsman brake tool, snap-on for drum brakes, and then 2 impact sockets, same as these, just shallow inspection mirror, feeler gauges, and the Faycom trim tool. Second drawer, definitely a lot added to this one. The file card, some files here, some drift punches. All of these are Proto except this one and this one. These are Craftsman. And then all of these are Proto too except this one. And this one, these are all Craftsman, but all made in the USA, which is really nice. Bottom drawer, pretty much the same, except I added the drill bit set and the tire pressure gauge. First drawer, mostly the same, a little bit different. I added these 3 Craftsmans and then this 7/8 one. And the Matco 10mm there, this Eklund multi-hex hex wrench. And then the little mini screwdrivers, and then that Craftsman flare nut wrench. Plier drawer, this is really nice because almost all the pliers in here are made in the USA, which is really nice. Craftsman channel locks, so all 4 of these made in the USA. These 2 vice grips are made in China. Unfortunately, they're Irwins, but all 3 of these were already here, made in the USA. This one too, Craftsman slip joint. These fullers are made in Japan, those needle nose. 2 crescent wrenches, the Proto and the Danielson one. 2 linesman pliers, Proto Craftsman. And then this Blue Point valve stem, seal pliers, and then the drum brake tool. And these Gardner benders, which I'm pretty sure those are the made in China ones. These are made in Taiwan, these Klein auto strippers. These little ones, I'm assuming, not USA. And then all these 2 made in the USA, these Klein wire strippers, Klein flush cutters, Klein side cutters, and this just little 4-inch crescent wrench that I didn't put there just because no real point. Craftsman ball peen, the little pry bar, S-twing sledge, dead blow, the Von Hammer S-twing pry bar, and then electronics drawer, pretty much the same except I added some of the fuses here. Power tool drawer, same thing except I just added some Sawzall blades. Screwdriver drawer, Stanley stubbies, and this is actually made by Millers Falls. Not sure if you guys, it's kind of hard to see the logo, but it's made by Millers Falls, sorry. Snap-on ratcheting screwdriver. That's pretty much it. Everything else is the same, so I'm probably, ooh, that was blurry. So yeah, there you go, everything else is the same. So I'm probably going to be doing some more tools and toolbox videos if you guys want in the future. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everyone.